Check, 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 check. Vader Games in the building. What it is, what it do. Got another show, got another episode. You know what I got to do first. First things first. Headphones falling off. First things first. My peoples come first, and my peoples. Those of you supporting the channel, those of you in the comments already, those of you likes, retweets, comments, shares. Appreciate it all. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for the support. I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenging night as well because a few of us are probably all doing a show at a similar time. I do my best to have the shows at this time, so hopefully it all works out. And please let me know that my microphone is nice and clean and crispy. The visuals, the lighting, let me know everything's good. And I want to thank you for tuning in. I got to shout out. You know what I got to do the first episode? Always. I got to shout out the very first person in the comments. And who is first this week? Let me see. Let me put this on screen. First this week, we got DC, lovely DC. She says, hello, fellow treble winners. Oh, I love that. Hope you're all enjoying or have enjoyed your Sunday. Vader, how's your knee? DC, the knee's okay. The knee's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's progressing. This is kind of like the annoying part because things kind of move a little slow, but there's no swelling. My mobility's good. And again, it's not so much my knee, but let me do a visual here. But it's like, let's say you're doing like a leg extension. It's the quad. It's not the knee, but it's that quad muscle. So, I'm recovering well, and I appreciate you for asking. What it do, Sky Blues? You know what? We got some questions. To ask, and we will have some answers to provide. Now, you see what it is, right? This is City. This is CIA. You know what we do? We got CIA intelligent agendas, and we're going to be absolutely intelligent with this. We're not going to be lazy. We're not going to be emotional. We're not going to be shameless. We're not going to be shameless. We're going to be real with this. All right? We're going to be absolutely real with this. And I'm going to do my best to put up some graphics on the screen as well because I want this to be really clear. And I see my MCFR TV in the building. Hi, Vader. Yo, good looking out. He goes, I will be on properly in 20, 30 minutes if you're still live. I will be. I think I'm going to do this show short and sweet, 45 minutes, I believe. I think I'm going to keep it around 45 minutes just because it's international break. What really is going down? But I think if I devote the time to talk about City, talk about Liverpool, and we talk about Arsenal, I think those are key. Last week's show, I said those are the two challengers. Those are the two contenders. Who's really up for it? And I'll explain why those two and not anyone else. Because I think if it is anyone else, it's going to be a surprise, and it's going to be a result of Liverpool or Arsenal falling off. All right, but we'll get into that. Let me make sure I can get my graphics up. Let's see here. We got that. And this is what I want to point out while I'm doing this, all right? Because we got to be really clear with this. Big clubs compete for titles, right? Big clubs compete for trophies. Big clubs declare that they will compete for those things. If you happen to interact with quote unquote fans of big clubs, ask them those questions. Ask them, what are you competing for this season? What trophies are you after this season? Right? If they're fans of a big club, right? No one cares about City, so that's why I do this channel, right? Because apparently no one cares about City. So I'm gonna do the channel for those that do care about City. All right. All right. Let me put this. Let me see if I can get this graphic here. We're gonna do this. And if I do, all right, why isn't that showing? Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for being patient with me. gotta do this proper. All right. Soon. There we go. Let me put this on screen. Now, is that large enough for you guys to really see and be clear? Let me adjust that. Let me actually make it a little larger. All right. So you see this? Can I move it? Damn, I can't move it. What did I do? What did I do? I messed it up. I'm gonna try it again. Maybe I should have done it before. All right, here we go. Boom. Okay. Now, I wanted to put this on the screen first. Oh, and let me take down this graphic, but you read it first. All right. City, let's be honest. Okay. Let's look at last season squad, the players, the experience, the ability to win a treble, win a Champions League trophy that has never done before. The players involved with it. Okay. We had players exit from that squad, exit from that contribution. Ilkay Gundogan is gone. Our captain from last season, he's out the door. Okay? Riyad Mahrez, clutch, big goals when needed, there. Reliable. He's gone. Okay? Defensively, put his body on the line for us 2 seasons ago. Wasn't so much called upon, but was there when needed. If we look at squad depth, we got Laporte. And obviously, when he was dialed in, when he was in the flow of the game, we had Cancelo. Now, those four players, gone. No longer with the team. Okay? If you want to claim that City is not weaker with those players leaving, that's your opinion. That will have to be your opinion. I will not agree with you. Even though we got players coming in with those exits, the quality, the experience of those players, I can't look at City and say we're stronger now than we were last season. I can't do it. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to Daniel. Big up Vader. Yo, 4 fire flames. Respect for tuning in, my guy. I just want to have a real conversation, right? This isn't try to play victim. This isn't try to be the underdog. I just want to really look at it and break it down. Okay. Now, when we think of last season, with what City were able to do and the players that have left, I see that as weakening. But before I end the show, I'll say that the fact that we're weaker isn't a bad thing season over season, right? Because let's also go back 2 seasons ago when we had the exit of Sterling, Jesus, and Zinchenko. And we also had the exit of Fernandinho, right? We had those players leave. Now, when those players left, you would look at the start of the season and say, you know what? Yeah, we got the addition of Alvarez. We got the addition of Holland, okay? More so from a striker position. But what we lost on the wing and what we lost from a leadership with Fernandinho, you would look at that and be like, year over year, did we get stronger? Okay? I think we improved in our attack and our scoring, obviously, because record setting, right? Potential Ballon d'Or, not Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or. So we've got that with regards to what happened to Holland, but the exit of those players had to step up, all right? And it's good when players step up, but when you look at what's left, you can see the weakness. Let me shout out a couple more people. I got to shout out Daniel with another comment. Daniel goes, football is not played on paper, Vader. We don't know whether we are weaker or not based on the start we had. You could argue we are better. But Daniel, based on the start that we had, is it that we're stronger, or is it when compared to the other teams in the league and how they are playing? That's the thing, right? I think I'm just looking at our squad to our squad last year, not the rest of the environment, not the rest of the squads within the league. Our squad to our squad. Okay? So our trouble winning team last season to this team starting the season. I humbly believe that we were stronger last year. And we'll see how players step up and perform. But I think Ilkay, Gunnigan gone, Riyad Mahrez gone, Laporte gone, and Cancelo gone. Okay? Those four gone compared to the team that we had last season, I see us as being weaker. Let me know in the comments if you guys I hit the microphone. Let me know in the comments if you guys disagree with that. Whether our team from last year and this year, which one is stronger or weaker? Zane, my guy Zane, he goes, big up Vader. Zane, I got Liverpool on the screen right here. You tell me in the comments, are you stronger? Are you stronger this year compared to last year? Simple. Yes and no. If you want to give me some detail, you want to say I'm stronger in an attack in midfield, but I'm slightly weak at 6 or whatever. But team versus team, let me know. Is Liverpool this year, Liverpool 2023, 2024, right now, transfer window closed. Are you guys stronger or are you weaker compared to the team you had last year? My man, Red Devil Studios. You know what? I gotta shout you out. We gotta link up. I think if we do citizens, because with my Citizens Neighborhood Watch, and the Neighborhood Watch is watching the Reds, right? Watching how you guys are in the neighborhood. We got to do a little combo. I want to talk Glazers. I want to talk Ten Hag with you briefly. We got to put that in the works, my guy. DC, not sure yet if we're weaker. We're certainly different. Time will tell. But I never bet against this club or Pep. DC, let me ask you this. If this 11 had to go against last year's 11, who are you putting your money on? This year's 11, City's 11, versus last year's 11, who are you putting your money on? DC, but I see what you mean, Vader. Gundo was a big loss. Yes, that's my point. DC. With Gundo gone, it's not like for like, obviously. And yes, time will tell. But I think transfer window to transfer window, I think we're weaker. Daniel, I mean, on paper, Gavardio is better than Laporte. Okay. Gundo is a big loss, but let's not act like Mahrez was good last season. We criticized Mahrez a lot last season. He was too slow. Yes. But he could be relied on and was trusted on when needed. Gundo was a huge loss, and Kovacic, I think, will put in a shift. He will be great for us. He'll do what's asked of him. But it's not a like for like with Gundo. Zane, I think City are slightly weaker, but they're still strong. I would happen to agree. I think we are weaker. I do think we are still more than capable of winning the league, maybe getting a few more trophies, but comparing to last season, we're weaker. Actually, are you picking up some background noise? Let me know in the comments if you're picking up some background noise. Yeah. Okay. Let me close the door. One sec. All right, my bad. Where was I? Who said what last? Daniel. All right, I got you, Daniel. Daniel goes, the amount of times I screamed at my TV because of Mahrez last season. I don't want to tell you how often. I know, whether it's like not releasing the ball quick enough, whether it's maybe reacting and dropping back, recognizing some attacking threats. I hear you, but I'm again. Let's look at the depth, and we'll get to our squad. Let me adjust the lighting, man. I hate when it does that. When does it do that? Is it a shadow? Yeah, I gotta adjust something. One sec. And then that makes so annoying. And I got sparkles around me now. Annoyed. Okay, let's move. Zane. We're definitely stronger, but I think two positions are questionable: Endo and the CBS. Okay. All right. So at 6, you're still a little concerned. Now let's get into it. So you see Liverpool here on the screen, right? And this is the point that I'm trying to make. And some accused me on Twitter about clickbaiting. I don't do that. This is a genuine opinion. I'm not trying to get people to react to something that I don't honestly observe. And again, love, let me put Mancunian away. I think we're conflicting with regards to our shows today. So if you guys can, on your computer, open up 2 tabs, have Vader Games TV, have the Mancunian way. You can commit to one if you want. Hit the like button on both of us, kind of jump around, listen to us. But unfortunately, I think we're both live at the same time. I'm going to keep my show to about 45 minutes. So hopefully you can enjoy us both as well. But Mancunian Way goes, good evening, mate. Apologies, couldn't join. We are live soon ourselves. Hope you're good. Smash those likes. Mancunian, thank you so much. Those of you, like I said, open both tabs. Go and show Martin and the Mancunian Way some love right there. DC, hi, Martin. Love back. I love it. She says, all is well. Thank you. Hope mom and dad are okay. Always, Martin. Hope the family's doing well. And you continue to show that support for them. Blue Heart goes, we are stronger in my opinion. And after the start of the season, I'm looking forward to goals. Okay, Blue Heart thinks we're stronger than last season. All right, we'll get into it. Now, what do you think of Liverpool? Again, because here at CIA, we're checking out the threats. We're checking out the targets, right? And we set missions. So let's deal with this. Liverpool. Last week we talked about Liverpool and Arsenal. Those are the 2 threats. The ones that are showing like they got something, like they can prove something. You know what I mean? So Liverpool right now, Alisson's the guy, right? Do you really need a backup at keeper? You need one. You need one. I think many Liverpool fans don't trust Adrian, but they got their backup. But look at keeper, I think they're solid. Many of them would argue that he's the best in the world. We know better, but they got Alisson. Okay. Then you got Trent. Do you need a backup for Trent? Right now I'm seeing Bradley, how reliable, or obviously he can't do what Trent can do. He can't. And I think what we've seen mostly from Klopp is that he'll actually use Gomez and play him at right back. So Gomez having that versatility, but I think they're covered. There. Where they've, I think, really gotten their strength from, if we're going year over year, defensively, they were pretty much set, right? They pretty much had what they had defensively. It was the midfield that many of their fans, many of their YouTube, Twitter leaders were saying, midfield. And they would say they kind of dropped the ball with how aggressively they went after forwards and attackers last season, after pursuing a quad and only falling short by 2 goals. I think they only fell short by 2 goals. Yeah, about that. Last game of the season with regards to the league, and 1 goal difference, a 1-0 versus Real Madrid, if I remember correctly, when they were pursuing the quad. So when you look at that, and they needed the strength in midfield 2 seasons ago, they went for forwards this season. They got their midfielders, and I think they're stronger. You look at the exits, the only exit from last season is Fabinho. Fabinho did need coverage, so if they were saying they needed 2 6s, because Fabinho's gone, they needed a 6 to replace him, and they needed cover because they said they needed cover for him when he was here. Maybe they continue to remain weaker at 6, but the additions within their midfield, I think they're stronger. I think Liverpool are stronger year over year. Okay? I think Liverpool are stronger year over year. Let me know in the comments. Zane, let me know if you disagree. Oh, you already admitted. You admitted that you guys are stronger this year. But where you need that strength, I think you also said at the 6. Mancunian way, let me shout him out real quick. He says, "Thank you, Vader and DC. Much love. Always, man. Much love." DC goes, "Vader, do you think we should have done more or better in the transfer market?" Done more? I'm actually very happy with our transfer window. Even how it played out time-wise, I'm happy with the transfer window. The stress is normal. That happens. You want things happening quicker and whatever. But I'm happy with the transfer window because nothing is perfect. Sometimes you do have to become a quote-unquote weaker to have players develop the skill set or the confidence to then fill some roles. So one more signing would have been great. Unfortunately, with the dark cloud hanging over Paqueta's head and the gambling and everything like that, I think had he joined and we had all the other signings, had he joined, your question, I would have been absolutely happy. Also because KDB's injury hurts. KDB's injury hurts. With the exit of Gundogan and now KDB not in that midfield, the two of those not there, that hurts. Blue heart. I'm really good. Thank you, Martin. Hope you're good too. All right, man, showing some love. Zane, Gomez right back, another reason why the CB situation can be a problem. Okay, because of dual duty. Okay, fair enough. But that's when you look at it in the event of an injury, right? In the event of an injury, that's when you kind of have concerns. I'm just saying additions and subtractions, Liverpool, better year over year. DC, Blue Heart, I can't wait for Pep to return. Yeah. This international break, perfect timing. I think Pep's cooking up something. The fact that the new players have had this time just to settle down a little bit. Yeah, they got international duties, but to be able to settle down and come back, it's gonna be really nice. Mancunian way goes, not too bad, thanks. We miss you in chat, mate. Hope you're well. Me old mucker. Okay. All right. Who was he addressing that to? Not too sure. Daniel, Vader, context is key. Foden wasn't involved a lot last season after the World Cup. True. He will be fit and ready this season. We had problems in the dressing room. Pep, bench, key players around Christmas. Daniel, yeah, that context that you're talking about, we can actually discuss, I think, on a different show or a different time. I'm strictly looking at the additions or the ins and outs, right? Those that have come to the squad and those that have exited the squad. And when you look at the quality of what's exited the squad versus the potential that's come into the squad, again, the potential is great. We don't know where they can net out. But right now, until that potential is proven, we're weaker. Daniel, that's why I think we are stronger this season. Context is important. We're going to disagree on this one, Daniel. We're going to disagree on this one. I'm the same DC. He's like a family member to me. Yeah, Martin, and what he's got to deal with family wise, and family comes first. He's got to deal with that, and he does such an excellent job of managing the two. It's I always got to shout out and check him out, make sure he's good. Mancunian Way goes Liverpool dodgy at the back. When healthy, I got to disagree. Martin. They're not dodgy at the back. Daniel, to be honest, I find the question whether we are stronger or weaker stupid. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Focus on West Ham. That's all that matters. My question on whether we're stronger or weaker through the transfer window. Stupid. Okay, Daniel. But if we are to focus on West Ham and the teams moving forward, it would have to be reflected on the players that we have available. And I'm just saying that the players that we have available moving through the season after the transfer window, I'm confident that they can prove themselves. I'm confident that they can raise their level. As of now, until shown, we are weaker and we're going to get to it. Now, let me say this, and let me put a star so I know where to join. When we look at the entire squad of Liverpool, right? We look at Szoboszlai. I know I'm crushing his name, but he's nice. He's not nice. I heard some Liverpool fans joke about him playing right wing if they need to give Salah a rest. Like they're so happy and confident with his addition. Gravenberch, we got to see what he does. I think he's a quality signing. Endo, they don't have much confidence in him. Vazicek, Zane, you let me know. I think he's quality. We know McAllister's quality. We know healthy Thiago's good. You got Curtis Jones. You got Elliott. Squad guys, right? And again, from what I've seen with Elliott being brought onto that pitch early season, he's been good. Nothing. We don't need to say anything about Salah quality. Gakpo. I think Gakpo in the midfield is a bad look, bad experiment. But him and Darwin, quality. I think I'm blocking Diaz and Jota. We know what they can do, right? So, year over year, Liverpool, my humble opinion, are stronger versus last year. Okay? I think, yes, Fabinho's out the door. Despite that, the additions that Liverpool had within the midfield, I think they're stronger. Their attack is definitely very good. I'll also say this real quick. I think Klopp needs to continue to minimize the minutes of Darwin Núñez. I don't think he has. I don't think right now he has the capacity to be focused for an entire 90. I think what he brings is explosiveness. He's a pace and power player. I think if Klopp can just use him either, especially if he can use him when defenses are tired, like what he ended up doing to salvage that win against Newcastle. If he can do something like that on the regular, I think Darwin Núñez is going to cause problems. Adam in the building, he goes, "Good to see you, Vader Games. Thank you so much. I will be back soon." Adam, take your time. Hope you're well. Hope the family's good. We will link up. Let me go back. So Mancunian Way goes, I'd have liked to have kept more EDS, but that's a sentimental me. Okay, keeping that, but not necessarily from a strength standpoint, but an investment, a long term. See how those players raise their level. I'm not mad at that. Blue Heart, I think it would be cool, but I see the new team being more hungry. Yes. Okay, I'm Blue Heart. Daniel, if that's the point with regards to the new players, new blood, new hunger, the drive to win because they don't have the trophies that some of these past players have. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Psychologically, the mentality of the players, I'm with you. But I'm just talking about quality to quality, experience. Hey, Pep, barking out instructions, who can best follow those? We know, man. It's algebra. It's physics. When you come to City and you're learning it, it's no longer science. It's no longer math. It's complicated, right? I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Blue Heart. Kova has dropped has dropped in wearing the right clothes. He's a natural fit for us so far. He is following Pep's instructions. You can see how he's really trying to make sure that he hits the ground running. But Gundo, Kova, come on, guys. Come on. We know the answer. DC, Blue Heart, yes. I actually enjoy watching and listening to Pep as much as I like watching the players. I'm with you. I got there. Blue Heart, Pep's proper blue now. DC, I like the fight in his eyes when anyone has a go at us. Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's proper. He's proper. And even with what he says, challenging the fan base, challenging how he wants that support out there. Can't wait for that signed extension. Can't wait for it. Daniel, okay. I just look on paper. Gavardiol is an upgrade on Laporte. Okay. Kovacic is a downgrade on Gundo. Okay. Nunez is a bonus. Yeah. And Doku is better than Mahrez. I'm serious. Doku will bring energy to the team. Okay. So you're saying we're better versus last year. I'm not mad at that opinion. Daniel, Mahrez frustrated me. I hear you, man. I hear you. Blue Heart, the reason I stay stronger is because of keeping Bernardo and the recruits along with the younger lads being more experienced after our troubled three-peat season. And we are not even warmed up yet. I think, again, I'm not going to fight you guys on your points of view. I think maybe I'm putting maybe a higher value on Gundo and what he meant. Even though we've added Kova, I do think that Gavardiol is an upgrade to Laporte. Doku an upgrade to Mahrez. Obviously, Doku's not going to do what Mahrez did. Pep's not going to ask Doku to do what Mahrez did. I think Pep's going to ask Doku to be a lot more direct and a lot more attacking, right? Now, I'm excited to see the first cross-pitch delivery, and I want to see how smooth, how nice, how effortless that first touch is for Doku. Daniel, Blue Heart, come on now. As frustrated as you could be with Mahrez, who had a better first touch? I would trust myself to throw an egg high into the sky and watch Mahrez control it with his foot. An unboiled egg, by the way. Just throw it into the sky and he could caress that with his left foot like a pillow. I want to see Doku. I want to see Doku in those situations. I want to see it. Richard Vader, have you been to England? I have not. Oh, I'm lying. I have. I've been, but I've really only been into the airport. I had a long layover. That was it. Blue Heart, I hate to say it, but I have a feeling the new look Spurs will be well in the first half of the season. And there are others like Brighton. There are a few more teams after our jewelry this season. Everyone's after our jewelry. Blue Heart, everybody's gunning for us. Like the target on our backs right now, everybody is going to have that target on our back. It's probably on our front. Everybody's going to want to get at us. Whether they can sustain the intensity, the focus needed to really get at us is another thing. But I do agree, as you mentioned, the first half of the season, Spurs do look good. Brighton consistently looking good. West Ham, we do have to focus on that game. They're looking good, and they got a win versus Brighton. It's this post-international break is going to be some exciting football. Daniel, Tottenham fans thought they will be they will be a lot weaker without Kane. But now they're seeing that they play better without him. Yeah, actually, I think Gundalorian mentioned this. Martin may have as well. I think even True City fan. Too much was so focused on Kane. Like it was the Kane show, and you got to the final third, you had to look for him. Yeah, and I think like players stepped up when they made that Champions League run. I think players are going to step up and show their value. DC, we definitely have a bigger target on our back this season. Anyone but City. Yeah, that's the feeling. That's the sentiment. Everyone's saying anyone but City. Anyone win it but City. Be careful. Be careful what you wish for. I am going to do a show. You know what? I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to do this. I am going to do a show. If you're familiar with the Matrix and you know the architect, he meets with Neo and he kind of shows all the iterations of past, kind of like past lives, past programs. I'm going to do my architect. If I were to design this league, right? If I could pick who would lead for a certain amount throughout the season, who would fall off, who would be in that final game, all of that in terms of like knowing how their fan base is, like how rabid, how silly, how like far gone they might be. I'm going to do an architect type episode where I'm like, if I could design this league and who would win, who would lose, and how to play it out for the best possible drama and outcome, I'm going to lay that out for you guys. Daniel, yeah, Mahrez has a great first touch and then passes it back and then pass it backwards because he couldn't dribble past his opponent. All right, Daniel. All right, he also had that amazing first touch, kicked it into space and scored on net. Man, let's not be like that. He did that against Liverpool. DC, rival fans, players, media, refs, everyone is gunning for us. Bring it on. We're ready for it. We're ready for it. Now, let me see if I can put, I'm going to take this off screen and we're going to take a look at, let's see how this shows up. We're going to take a look at Arsenal. Okay? We got Arsenal on the screen. What are y'all saying? What are y'all saying? Arsenal last year versus this year. Is anyone saying that Arsenal's weaker this year compared to last year? Which one of you? I dare one of you. I dare any of you to say that Arsenal are weaker this year than they were last year. I see my man Gundalorian pitch points in the building. Hopefully he was listening, but I'm gonna bring him to the stage.
Hey, Vader.
Hey, man, how you doing, man?
I'm well. You?
Excellent. No, I'm okay. Recovery's going well. It's a Sunday, so it's gonna be back to the work week and the kids back to school. But no, it's going well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Just trying to get the season started, get playing again. So yeah.
Okay, you got the kids training already.
Yeah. Back this fall, man. So we're back in practice. Yeah.
All right. Nice, man. Nice. Well, I'm not sure if you're able to hear this, but I really titled this show because I want to point out, in my humble opinion, and not to say that we are not capable of winning the league. That's never the case. But I do think that City is weaker after the transfer window this year versus last year. I think the potential we have is huge. But I think the exits of a Gundo, the exits of Mahrez, Laporte, and Cancelo year over year, I see us slightly weaker. Now, do you sometimes need to be weaker to then be stronger? Because you got to have players step up, have players gain that experience, and then move forward. Yes, because I think I could honestly say to you, Gundo, every year, if we go back the year before that with the exit of Sterling, Jesus, Zinchenko, and Fernandinho, I thought we were slightly weaker. Yes, we improved at striker, huge. Holland and Alvarez, amazing additions, right? But we filled that gap that was necessary. But like, even if we go back the year before that, when we have the departure of a company, or we have the departure of a Silva,
I don't agree though. I think we're stronger actually.
Okay, yeah, no, that's cool. Daniel hated the fact that I was saying that we were weaker.
And I'll tell you why I think we're stronger. I don't agree.
Okay. All right. Did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I think the connection might be messing up a little bit, but
Back.
okay.
Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't agree. I actually think we're stronger.
Okay.
I do stronger. I think that. Here's why I think so, right? I mean, who left us? We know Gundogan left us. And let's be fair, Gundogan was tipping, right? He was tipping over the edge, right? His runs were not as quick. Yes, he was good in possession. Yes, he was good in the final third. But look at the goals that we conceded against Madrid, against Brighton. A lot of the goals in transition, he was the one that lost the ball, didn't catch up.
Okay.
Right? He's like, there. What we've replaced him with is energy, youth, dynamism, directness, and closing down, which we have right now in people like Nunez and Kovacic, right? And who else? And Guardiola can play that as well. Mahrez, you can argue yes, Mahrez was good in clutch moments, but then we have the guy who's faster, more dynamic, who's hungrier, and we have Leon Alvarez who can play right, or Doku can play right, or we can play any other player, Bernardo on the right. So all of a sudden, guess what? We're playing with more energy, more dynamism, more control on the ball.
So hold on. One second though. So I hear you with regards to Nunez and Kovacic for Gundogan. 2 players with the exit of 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now with the exit of a Mahrez and the addition of a Doku, I see the potential, but that's what it is right now. It's
yeah, but you ask yourself the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the biggest game of the season, who played right wing?
Yeah, Silva did.
Yeah,
but he's still here.
Right. But where was Mahrez?
Mahrez was in the squad. So
right.
But this is what I'm saying. So squad wise, is it saying that Doku is an upgrade to Mahrez? But I would say
no.
Yes,
Doku has
potential.
Doku has what Mahrez does not have. Right, what Mahrez has, we can replace with somebody else. We got goals from people like De Bruyne, from Haaland, from Alvarez, who's scoring goals right now. Right, so we can replace that goal. What Doku has, Mahrez does not have, which is the ability to be two-footed. So many times we've seen Mahrez, who has the ball, we know he's going to check on back his left foot and go into traffic.
Okay.
Reason why he doesn't play the Real Madrid game, he doesn't play the game against Bayern Munich, and he doesn't play the UCL final.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, talk about defensively, right?
Now, Gundo, this I love that we do this, right? Because we have the show, we're able to reflect. Now, where I would be slightly challenging in the future is if those examples on when we did not bring Mahrez onto the pitch, if we happen to also not bring a Doku onto the pitch, because then it's almost like a neutral, like. Yeah, we got him to the squad, but in those big matches, like we're pointing out, Mahrez did not show, and we don't have a Doku showing. We still have a Silva. Then it might be a neutral. Not we didn't strengthen, we didn't weaken, but man, nothing right there. You know what I mean? So it's a great point, and I'm in agreement with you. So yeah, I just wanted to point at that. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I hear you, but then you there's a video by, I believe it was Ferran Soriano, who talked about timing in the market, how to time the market to sell a player when they're right before they begin to crest over.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And you have to trust that these guys know exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mahrez goes out. We get right a dynamic winger who can play as a second fiddle, or we can play Bernardo Silva out there, right? We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
We get Gundogan, who's left,
mm-hmm.
who is good on the ball, final third, can control the game, but then you have a person like Kovacic, who's doing almost the same thing that Gundogan does, but without the goals, right? You have a person like De Bruyne, who's coming back in. Stones can play midfield. Even Guardiola can play midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Carry the ball with the energy and dynamism that Gundogan does not have, who can be coached to deliver in the final third. You haven't even seen Nunez play yet.
So that's my point. It's potential.
We've lost, while we've lost those players, I on the other hand believe that we're actually stronger because now we're unpredictable. Now teams don't know what we're going to do, who we're going to play where, what the position is going to be, how they're going to flourish, how they're going to combine.
I think it, again, Daniel, Blueheart, they were like, Vader, not agreeing with your, we're slightly weaker. I hear the potential that you're pointing out. I hear there's going to be a difference to us that teams will have to figure out 100%. And I think maybe it's just a matter of how we're categorizing or describing it. I see the potential, and that's where I'm kind of categorizing it as potential. I need to see it as it applies to City, as it applies to Pep, and his usage of these players. But now that I have you and I see True City Fan in the comments, if you guys have not, and all the details are in the description of this channel, sub to True City Fan's channel, sub to Pitch Points, Patrick at True City Fan, Gundalorian at Pitch Points. Make sure you show them some love. Content's dropping. Patrick just had a video yesterday. Go and make sure you check that out. And there's going to be more coming. This is an international break, so everyone's kind of like recharging their battery right now. True City Fan wants to say Mahrez was okay, and he saved us a few times. When called upon, he did what needed. Sometimes, yeah, there was moments of frustration when we had the two inverted wingers and we wanted something different. And again, we ended up winning the season. But we've got, and it's kind of like, what is it? The system that I know versus the system that I've got to learn. We're gonna see with the additions of Nunez. We're gonna see the addition of Doku and how it fits moving forward. I'm excited for it. What I have here on the screen. And Daniel wants to point out, I personally think the only big loss is Gundo. Yeah. He was our captain. Of course, that's a big loss, and we're gonna see how amends.
Let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
We know he was our captain. Yes, he was a big loss. And by the way, I use his name in my
yeah, of course.
Right? Who was bigger loss, Fernandinho or Gundogan, spiritually? Fernandinho, right? We all know that, right? Who was a bigger loss, Gundogan or Kompany? Kompany, right?
Yeah.
That's what we thought. But then we went on to be stronger. So I'm always very careful because.
So hold on. Let me ask you this: would you?
It's not about the treble.
Is there a start? No, but hold on, Gunno. Has there been a start to the season where you think we started it as a weaker team versus the last year?
There's only one season.
Okay.
1920, because we didn't replace the center back who got injured. We had Sane injured, we had Laporte injured, and then we had some Kompany injured. We played Fernandinho at center back. That one was worrying to me. Every other season, I think we started stronger because we've added quality.
So not because of the injury, quote unquote, injury crisis.
Yeah.
You okay.
Yeah. If we had everybody, if we had Laporte fit, if we had Kompany fit in that 1920 season, Liverpool don't win the league. They don't win the league. If we have to play Fernandinho at centre back next to Eric Garcia and Otamendi, you're not going to win anything with that.
Okay.
You're not. I mean, the idea is you improve the squad to be stronger. You don't improve the squad to be weaker.
Yeah, right.
You don't. Every year that you try to make improvements to the squad so that they are stronger than you were last year. I think we're stronger than we were last year, and the proof is in the results. Right? There's no other season that we started the game with 4 wins out of 4, except for one season, 16-17 with Pep. We're perfect. Right? 12 points out of 12, scored 11 goals, conceded 2. Best record so far. Even in the Centurion season, we weren't that good. There's no way we're weaker. Just no way. And in between that, we won the Super Cup. Right?
So the only season that we didn't strengthen going in was when we suffered our center back injury.
Yeah, so that was a season where we won the Community Shield. I believe Sane was injured in the Community Shield, and Laporte got injured with an ACL.
Yeah,
we had to play Fernandinho at centre back.
Yeah, and that was Liverpool's season.
Correct. And then Kompany was always injured that year as well. It was just terrible. It was just horrible. It was watching Fernandinho at centre back was just terrible. We didn't replace him. It was just a mistake. But this year, we have Guardiola, who came in. We still have Akanji. We still have Stones. We still have Diaz. We still have Kyle Walker, who stayed, which is a big plus. In 5 or 6 centre-backs who can play proper system. And then you have these 4 midfielders who can destroy any team. We're talking about Nunez, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Kovacic. John Stones can play there as well. We even have Calvin Phillips, who hasn't gotten a game yet to play. You got Phil Foden, who can play midfield. Then you have Harley, you have Alvarez, you have Doku, you have Jack Grealish, right? Who can all play forward. It's stronger for me, man. I just don't see how it's weaker.
Okay. All right.
Cancelo, you want to argue about Cancelo? Cancelo is a liability defensively. He's a liability. He can't defend. I watched the game with Barcelona last week, his first game. He can't defend. One-on-one, he can't defend.
I want to point this out on screen, and it's right now as an image. But we've got Arsenal's team versus last year. And I want to put this comment on screen because Blue Heart goes, I think Arsenal looks stronger on paper. However, I still doubt Arteta. Okay, you can doubt the manager. He's trying to be a Pep clone for me. You know what? You use the influences of your life or experience.
I think they're weaker, actually.
You think? Oh my goodness! Yeah. All right, go ahead. The show's yours.
Well, here's what I think.
How is Arsenal weaker this year?
You know why? Because of Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka's role in that team was understated. Granit Xhaka was the one who would fight as a number 8 to win the ball so that Odegaard and Jesus and all those guys can flourish. Who do they have right now for Granit Xhaka? Kai Havertz. Right? Or because they added Declan Rice, all of a sudden they're stronger? Nah. Right? If they were stronger, they don't drop points against Fulham at home. Last season, they went undefeated for the first 10, 20 games?
You think they're dropping points because of the strength of their squad versus the approach of the manager?
Because they're weaker.
Wow.
It's a similar approach. They're weaker.
So I disagree because I think obviously, yes, Xhaka played a role. I mean, he was probably the workhorse of that midfield.
Yep.
But I think Arteta using Kai Havertz, and it's not quite the same system as last year, is missing the right tactic. I think if he were to have Odegaard, Rice, and Partey, that would be the midfield to use versus Kai Havertz.
He can't play a 3 in midfield. He's playing the box in the midfield. That's why he's inverting one of the fullbacks into midfield.
Yeah, but he's using Partey as a fullback, whereas he could, even if he chose to use, and again, because of the injury to Timber, I think if Timber healthy, they're good.
So the problem is Ben White can't invert, right? So instead of playing Ben White out to the right, playing Ben White central, moving Partey out wide, and Partey drops into midfield from the right side.
Yeah.
The distance between the right side and the midfield is so long. It's more than from centre back because Partey can play centre back. So the only way to play Partey is to play him wide right to drop into midfield and then put Ben White next to.
Do you believe if Timber was healthy that Partey's still playing this inverted role?
Probably not. No, probably not. He probably plays that inverted role. But then my argument to you is Xhaka last year was underrated, understated as a player. He was the one who would press and win and harry and connect. He allowed the likes of Odegaard to flourish, the work he does off the ball. That's him. They lost that. Now you have Kai Havertz, who can't even tie his laces. It's
okay.
The result.
Arsenal spent $65 million to get weaker.
When you look at the collective team as a whole, are they better off this season than they were last season? The results,
Yeah, but that's where I'm not. That's where it's like results are one thing. How the squad, the team executes.
How do you judge a team? Based on what?
How do I? No, but if I could judge the team being if Arsenal suffered a loss versus City in terms of the start to their season, I wouldn't have judged them to be less.
Let's compare the game they played against United this season, right? And the game they played last season. Which one was a better performance?
Last season.
Yes. The game they played against Fulham this season versus last season, which was a better performance?
Yeah, it was last season.
So they're a worse team than they were last season.
But again, if a team is able to set up because they faced you the previous season, you're not surprising them with what you're executing. We're now a little more familiar with what you're trying to get at. It's not necessarily the squad being weaker. Sometimes it's also, I'm seeing you for the third, fourth time. I know what to expect now.
Yeah,
I think the way we've grown accustomed to having the target, and I said this a little early in the show, we're accustomed to having the target on our backs, on our chest. We know everyone's gunning for us. I think Arsenal were able to sneak attack a few teams, and that's not so much the case this year. I think some teams, especially United, they're going to be like, listen, we're going to concede a lot to you guys and just look to counter. And other teams, I think, have taken that approach, making life difficult for Arsenal. And they made life difficult for Arsenal very late in the season last year.
Yeah. I hear that argument, but then it's me. I give you two examples of 2 games played last year and this year, and the performance last year was better, and some of the performances were towards the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. They're not strong. I mean, even the results tell you, right? They dropped 2 points to Fulham at home, right? We played Fulham last year, by the way. We sneaked by 2-1 against Fulham last year with Gundogan and Cancelo, all these guys. We played them twice. We sneaked by 2-1 with a penalty from Haaland in the last minute. This year, battered them 5-1 with a worse team. Nah, I'm not buying it. Nah.
Okay, all right. So now,
I'll tell you who's the better team too, right? And people are sneaking. People are kind of closing their eyes to this team, right? Liverpool are back.
Wait. Before you do this, Carl. So if we happen to play United at home and we win 2-1 versus the 6-3 slapping, am I able to come on the show and tell you that we're slightly weaker because of that performance?
It depends on how we play.
Okay.
But, the performance against United for Arsenal this season was not as good as last season.
Yeah. But I'm asking you a scenario if we happen to win 2-1, because again,
it depends on the performance. If we win 2-1 to control the game as a last-minute fluke goal, then we're better. It's about the performance. It's not about the result. The performance as well. Arsenal's performance against United this year was not as good as last year. Arsenal's performance against Fulham this year was not as good as last year. Even the first game that they played, first of the season that they played, I can't remember who it was, wasn't as good.
Okay. I want to point out, Daniel goes, Arsenal is weaker this season, not based on their squad. Last season, no one expected them to be that good. This season, everyone knows how Arsenal plays. They are more predictable. Can Arteta change? It looks like Arteta's trying to change. I mean, again, he's playing Kai Havertz, 65 million. Is he forcing him into this squad because of that price tag? Who knows? Is it because he's trying to change and have something different for ops staff to deal with? We'll have to see. Blue Heart goes, I agree with you, Daniel. Gundo was loaded with valuable experience. You can't replace that stuff sometimes. Yeah, we're going to have to get it in different ways, for sure.
But this argument, it may be clear, again, right? We always make this argument. Yes, he was loaded with experience. So was Kompany. So was Fernandinho. So was David Silva. So was Sergio Aguero. And yet, they go on to win title after title after title. What does that tell you? They get stronger and stronger. You don't win a treble, right, by being weaker every year. 17, 18 team Centurions couldn't win a treble. Even the quadruple guys couldn't win a treble. These guys have. And not just have, they beat Madrid, Barcelona on the way.
So, but Gundo, you hear what you're saying, though. So our treble-winning team just got stronger. So, and we know, I mean, I know it's a game. I'm not expecting repeat trebles. But with a stronger City squad, one of those major trophies is that the expectation? Healthy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm with you.
I'm expecting the UCL in Premier League this year.
You're expecting the double this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. FA Cup, I'm not too bothered about that one. Carabao Cup, I'm not too worried about that one. The Super Cup and the Club World Cup will replace that for me.
Well, the Club World Cup conflicts with our FA Cup, right?
No, FA Cup's in January. It's going to be the Carabao Cup if we get there. If we get there, it's the Carabao Cup that's going to be an issue because then we have to play it in December, probably the quarterfinal, which means maybe we have to play 2 teams.
Oh, it's the
one flies to Jeddah, one stays in England, and then just like Liverpool did 2 years ago. So
okay. Blue Heart goes, Patrick always makes excellent points. Football though, I love it because it's got my mind on its own. Wait, I think. Oh, did I miss a point that Patrick made? But he goes, okay, Patrick always makes excellent points. Yes, I agree. Football, though, I love it because it's got a mind. Oh, okay, gotcha, yeah. Football does have a mind of its own. Games got to be played. Players have to deal with all kinds of things throughout the season. Yeah, I'm with you, Blue Heart. Let's not forget, we still have KDB on KDB to come back if things go well by Christmas. Hopefully, yep. I love that trump card with KDB, and I love that he's got to do that recovery so that second half of the season, man's going to be ready and fresh. Daniel, Arsenal play with 10 men this season. You are right, Vader. Havertz does nothing. Havertz is 65 million. He could be a coach killer. Havertz could be a coach killer for Arteta. Blue Heart, it's time for Calvin to launch himself this season. Yeah, I love Calvin's cameo. I'm not going to lie. I like what I saw in the brief time that he's on that pitch, and I want to see more of it. But let me do this because I want to keep this show nice and sweet. Now, when we look at Arsenal, Gunnigan and some of you in the chat believe that Arsenal got weaker. I think that the addition of Declan Rice, I think the addition of Kai Havertz, yes, he was to replace Granit Xhaka, but I think the addition of those two, especially Timber, I think Timber, unfortunately, he got hurt, but his addition to the team, because what I saw from him prior to joining Liverpool, I'm all over the place. Prior to him joining Arsenal and what I saw of him playing in the Community Shield, I think he would have been a very, very good addition. Many Arsenal fans argue the only reason why they lost that league last season was because of Saliba getting injured. That was the key injury. They want to talk about their injuries being a problem. So everyone remained the same, healthy, with the addition of Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Timber. I'm looking at, and not even to mention, many of them don't like Ramsdale, and now that they got Raya, I think Arsenal are stronger. I do think. Now, whether the manager, whether the players can deliver and execute based off of the pressure and expectations now that many clubs or the league know that they're good, we'll have to wait and see. But they believe that they were an injury away. So healthy with additions, you'd have to argue that they're stronger. I want to do a proper breakdown of our squad, similar to what I have on screen here that I did for Liverpool and Arsenal, and I will do that for you on our next show. I want to include Gundalorian. I want to include True City Fan and the crew, everyone that I shout out within the tweets, Mancunian Way, and so on. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you like this breakdown. We're going to do it in detail with Manchester City. And thanks for all of you in the comments, the love, asking about my recovery and how things are going. But we're going to keep that going. I'm going to throw this to Pitch Points. If anything you want to mention with the upcoming last week of the international break, anything that's kind of like on your mind that you want to, kind of get off your chest.
No, I just want the boys back healthy and strong. I just feel like this year is going to be Calvin's year. Yeah, he's going to be like a new signing for us. It's all about mentality, right? It's the mental side. I coach kids, and that mentality is so crucial. It's so important to get the right mentality. Without that mentality, you can't play the game. It's all in the head.
I agree. I agree.
All in the head.
And that's the difference maker, because there's a lot of kids, there's a lot of players with the physicality, with the ability. But what's that difference? For many, it's just that difference. It's the approach, it's the mentality. I'm with you. Let me shout out this last comment before we shut down. Blue Heart goes, I think Arteta will be found out this season. The season is more of a test for his management for me. I actually don't think Arteta is as good as Klopp. His level. Oh my gosh. He says he's level with Brighton manager for me. Listen, it's going to be a lot of tests. And I'm going to break down this further next time. The fact that I trust Klopp to be able to deal with multiple competitions, I don't know for Arteta. I know that Klopp can do the distance with regards to the league. I don't know that for Arteta. And on top of that, being figured out, that's going to be the biggest test, because Arsenal will be a key game for many ops this year in terms of making life difficult and getting a result. So love to everyone. Gundalorian, Pitch Points, make sure you subscribe and support that channel. True City Fan was in the comments. Show love to him as well. And I know Mancunian Way, he's got a show live right now. So please go over there and support those guys. I'm Vader Games. This was CIA Intelligent Agendas episode 20. City compared to last year. Are they weaker? Are they stronger? We'll discuss maybe further, maybe in Twitter spaces moving forward. And Liverpool and Arsenal, I think they did get stronger. Many disagree, but we'll continue to have the convo on Bitter Games. This was Pitch Points, Gun DeLorean, and we're out. Catch you next time.